Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion banks comply. Leave the reason markets run. Leave the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads, Fibonacci maps the seeds. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guy. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run.
Lee wakes at dawn to a glowing scream. Charts and candles, the digital sheen. Open in range, his weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine. Bank moves, he mimics, he plays their game. Near a version, glory is his claim to fame. Market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leads the master filling his bankroll. Leads the master filling his bankroll. His mind's a map of supply and demand, turning charts to gold with a steady hand. Forex flows like rivers in his plan. Bases bow to the market man. Break out at the open, the strategy's tight. Position for the swing, he wins the fight. Risk is measured, the balance precise. Leads on the rise, he rolls the market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. He's the master filling his bankroll. He's the master filling his bankroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Afternoon. How are we all doing? Happy Friday. It's Friday. There's no news today, but it's Friday. No news all week. It's rubbish week for news, but anyway, we're here. Afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing? What's going on in my chat? Why is that like that? Afternoon, Momo, Marco, Baggy, I presume that is. Joe, Danny, Ladder, how we doing? Road. Right, markets have just opened. DAX this morning. Where's my pen? Haven't opened it. DAX this morning, very nice, easy break. Couldn't really go wrong today with the DAX. Yeah, so literally from the open, we had a tiny gap up and it immediately came straight down. 5 minute range went in. We broke the 5 minute range. Within half an hour, we'd hit TP1, which is 2R on the range. And then straight down to TP2, which was 150 ADR today. So huge move. This is the second day on the trot. We've had a 150 ADR. So this is exactly the same as yesterday. Literally opened, broke short, target, target. Open, broke short, target, target. Beautiful. So 2 days back to back, 7% out of the DAX. So happy with the DAX at the moment. Very nice. So we've just stalled out down here for the day, I think. I don't think we'll get much further, but you never know. Everything else, obviously, we got initial moves down on the Dow today, NASDAQ, and the gold move. Gold today, holy cow. Gold's been phenomenal the last 2 days. Look at this today. We have to go and look at proper charts for gold today. 225% of ADR so far today. Absolute collapse on gold. And silver's the same. Yeah, all metals. Huge move to the downside. So we've had quite a lot of movement today, as you can see from the ADR dashboard. Gold and silver, massive moves. But we've also had big moves on the Swissy, big moves on the pound today. That was a false news spike, basically. Basically, Rachel Reeves saying that we're not going to do anything with taxes. So the market went, oh, that's great. But we knew that anyway, because you said you weren't going to do it in your manifesto. But anyway, so yeah, big mean reversion opportunities. I talked about those this morning. We've got the US announced that they have done a deal with the Swiss. So we've somebody mentioned in the Discord group about this Swiss franc move. We've had massive movement on the Swiss franc over the last couple of days. Almost indicative of a safe haven run. And yesterday we had 225 ADRs, all sorts of massive movement. So, I mean, it's 47 ADR on the Aussie Swiss. We did 86 yesterday, 200 ADR. And it was a very big out of nowhere Swiss franc move yesterday. It's huge. It started a couple of days before, earlier this week. But yesterday it really took off. And today it's also continuously taking off. Now we know why. Someone somewhere in the markets knew that this deal was going to come in with the Swiss, which has been announced this morning. So if you have a quick look at Financial Juice, US Trade Representative, US announced food tariff exclusions today. So that's to do with tariffs. The Swiss are to have a 15% tariff rate, similar to the EU. We will post details on the White House website, but basically they've done a deal with the Swiss on pharmaceuticals, on all sorts of stuff. So the reason we've had this Swiss franc move, which seemingly came out of nowhere, there was no reason for it. There was no safe haven run. So typically when this sort of movement happens in the Swiss, it's because there is uncertainty in the markets. We've had a global disaster, a war kickoff, President Trump getting into the White House, usual stuff where everyone panics. That's what you tend to see, safe haven runs. Same thing with the yen. This one, there was nothing going on fundamentally. And it was like, why is the Swiss powering up? Now we know somebody somewhere leaked that this deal was coming. And obviously yesterday they put the lion's share into the Swiss franc. So now we know that that is what it is. We know what to do with the Swissy. It's a buy. However, the Swiss are going to be reducing their interest rates potentially in a month's time. So it could well be that this suddenly starts to weaken again because of the interest rate drop, but they haven't confirmed whether they're doing it yet. So the way that inflation's going, they kind of need to drop those interest rates down. So if you have a look at the Swiss movement at the minute, there's not a lot of data on the Swiss. Actually, let's go to the overview. You can see the CPI number. Yeah, CPI has been dropping quite substantially for the Swiss. So the actual, this is the green line here, the actual has been dropping for the last 4 months. So we were sitting up at 0.2, then we dropped down to 0, then we dropped to -1. Now we've dropped down to -0.3. Okay, so very strong drops on the inflation figures. Yeah, when you're getting into negative inflation, it means that you have to drop your interest rates down. Problem is, their interest rates are at 0, which means they've got to go back to negative interest rates. And the Swiss have no problem doing that at all. If you look at longer period, yeah, we sit down at -0.75 all the way to 2022. We were comfortably sitting there forever. Yeah, they have no problem at negative interest rates. And we gradually had to drag ourselves out of negative interest rates, obviously, when the interest rate rally started after COVID. And they only went up to 1.75. So, getting back from this 0 back down to a -0.25, not a problem for the Swiss. So this is going to massively weaken the Swiss franc. That figure there is indicative of them having to do that. So obviously all this strength that we've suddenly seen coming in within, so I think it's the 10th of, or the 12th of December or something, is their next interest rate drop. That's going to weaken the Swissy, which means everything will pump against the Swissy. So I don't have a problem getting into buys on everything against the Swiss at the moment, because I think you might have to hold it for a bit, but it is going to pop at some point. It might just go really quick, but these are very big RSI extensions as well. So if you look at the 4-hour timeframes, we've got some RSI extensions here that we're getting down to these 10 levels, which we've, 90-10s, I've got this on here at the moment, 90-10s, we don't get there very often. When we get there, usually the pop is big. This one, we got a flag break and we're down here again. Yeah, so when we get back down to here, in fact, right now, we've got already bullish divergence. So you're looking for some kind of support on these to drive this back up into a retracement. Yeah, so big, strong push, retracement. Big, strong push, retracement. Yeah, so looking for those big longs at the moment on the Swiss pairs, not Euro Swiss quite so much, because they tend to move in tandem. But there's tons and tons of ADRs everywhere today. It's big day today. Considering we got no news today, the market's certainly woken up, isn't it? So 150 ADR on Aussie New Zealand. You just missed the entry on that one. It was this morning on the 5-minute chart. The 15-minute chart, you're just about to get an entry on it, but ADR reversals, you kind of want to be using 5-minute time frames. Euro Swiss, that one is still extended. You've not got a reversal alert on that one yet. You haven't had one. So this, blimey, yeah. So this is going to be the first reversal alert of the day on that one. Euro pound, massive extension again. That's already played off. That was the pound move, that one. And the pound Swiss. So all these pound pairs, this was the Rachel Reeves thing. I posted in Discord this morning, as soon as that spike came in, I said, news trading opportunity, mean reversion. Don't know if anybody took them, but they all worked out pretty much. Pound New Zealand, that one not quite so spiky. That one came down into ADR off of New Zealand's strength basically today. You've had, from that reversal alert and retest there, you've had a good 3/4 of an ADR, but you were kind of helped by the news spike. So yes, you would have got a lovely profit out of that one, but realistically, that's where you've got to, normal price action wise. So all these ADRs today, most of them really nice and easy to play out. The DAX is set up right now. In fact, you've just had the reversal alert go in for a long on the DAX. So there is an opportunity for longing the DAX right now. If you fancy it, you've kind of missed the boat a little bit though. So yeah, loads of those. RSIs, there's quite a few RSIs. We'll look at those in a minute. Let's just go back and look at what the market's up to. So gold has triggered a long off the 5-minute ORB. Dow, no trade so far on the Dow. 2-bar range, 10-minute range is too small. NASDAQ, we are long. So long gold, long NASDAQ. That one's drawing in wrongly, but I think I've got a different setting on this to actually the EA. So the EA is not actually running on these charts. It's running on my VPS. And that's got slightly different ranges. So that's reporting the 1 bar range and 2 bar range are no good, but the settings are different on it. So that is actually a 5-minute ORB. And that one is obviously. So upside targets today, NASDAQ. Perfect. So the partial TP1 is exactly at resistance. So we got this area here from Globex. So we hit that. Tried to get through it, bounced out, put in a new high, came down, retested it, and then finally broke through. So this area here is our upside resistance. You've got this low here as well, which I think you'll find was a different level on another time frame. But anyway, so yeah, I mean that is a level. I'd be much more interested in that though. That area there. Yeah. So if we don't stop there, assuming we do break up and we do get there, obviously, that would be next upside resistance that I'd look at for shorts. Obviously, market's really down at the moment. Not very happy at all. Gold. I mean, this is a 225 ADR. Is it 225? Yeah, 225 ADR. So, yeah, anywhere really. That's one ADR basically. So the target line TP2, the actual hard TP that gets drawn in by the EA, that's one ADR from the range. So yeah, I mean that is achievable. Look at that. That's yesterday's low. We've got a propulsion gap here that we're in at the moment, and then we've got another propulsion gap here. So there's two massive sell orders here which we've got to get through to get all the way back up into that resistance. But obviously this is sold off ridiculously hard. Not that we weren't expecting it, because obviously we've had the strongest rally in history. Yeah, we've never had a rally that strong on gold ever. We've had a 30% retracement, which happened in 1 week after waiting pretty much 1.5 months for that rally to end. Yeah, climbing up the stairs, falling down the elevator shaft. And then this is your retest of the reversal. So there's your reversal alert. And this is your retest of that reversal. So they're adding shorts in here. So potentially, if this 24 daily, the monthly moving average doesn't hold, we're looking at testing the quarterly moving averages, which coincides with those monthly levels. So it's got more movement, and if that M pattern goes in, potentially we're going to end this bull run. Now, if this bull run ends, that is likely to trigger the start of the bear market in the stock indices, which is what we have been told is on the way. So if you look at all stock indices at the moment, they are struggling. You decide to switch over. Yeah, DAX, this is a daily chart, obviously. DAX stagnant for 5 months now. We have not managed to make new highs for ages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, month 5, no new highs. So we are completely stalled out on the DAX. Yeah, no new highs going in. Don't forget, that's what indices do. Go up. When you see indices go sideways, quite often it's the start of a bear market. Yeah, we are overdue that bear market. So potentially we're looking at a stock market drop, which means that US dollar is going to pop and gold will collapse. So Dow, a little bit more strong. However, if you look at the rate of speed of putting in new highs, yeah, we are struggling. But look at the expansion in volume that's going in at the moment here. Yeah, whenever you get a pause before a pullback, you tend to get an expansion in range, expansion in volume, expansion in ADR. Yeah, we are certainly expanding ADR. If you put an ATR indicator on here, you'll get a nice expansion. Where is it? Never understood why they put it in oscillators. I suppose it is an oscillator. But so you can see we're starting to tick up now on ADR. Yeah. So expansion. We had another expansion going in here. Look. So market's coming alive in the last month. Tends to be what happens before we get a bear market. So all this is sort of indicative of potentially starting these drops. S&P 500. Yeah, last month we put in new all-time highs. We put in new all-time highs the month before. We put in new all-time highs the month before. Put in new all-time highs the month before. This month we've got a lower high going in. We're nearly halfway through the month. Yeah, so it's going to have to go some to get all the way back out up into the all-time high territory. But you've had a reversal alert go in and looking like a retest. If we break this week's low, that is an M pattern reversal. How do bear markets start? It's all starting to look very, very shaky everywhere. NASDAQ, obviously, we've just taken out the lows of last week. So far today, we haven't held below them. But if we get the hold down here, this is potentially looking like it's going to start as well. So the first sign of a bear market is a break of the 24 moving average and a hold below. Yeah, we have broken it, retested, and held below twice so far this month. Yeah. Doesn't happen very often, but if you go back and look at previous bear markets, that is what happens when you start a bear market. Yeah, you break the 24. Yeah, and then you hold below the 24. You hold below the 24. You keep trading below the 24 moving average. So basically, the market is unable to sustain its monthly moving average. And after that, we break the quarterly moving average. That confirms the bear market. So we're on our way. It's all starting to happen. And, you know, whenever you get a bear market, I'll just zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Look at what happens to ADR in the bear market. Tends to accelerate dramatically, doesn't it? But you get that pickup, look. Normal market condition. Drawing behind my head. Normal market condition. And then you get that pickup in ADR. So you get expansion of volume before the move starts. Familiar? Kicking off. But anyway, we will see. We're not there yet. We've had plenty of attempts to go into bear markets and not actually got them. So we'll see what happens. But it's not looking particularly rosy, is it? Right, see where we are. So long on gold still holding. TP1 hit on NASDAQ. Already done. No trade on the Dow today. So the 5-minute range, no good. 10, 15, 20, 25. So unless the next candle after this one pokes its head out above or below that, there's no trades on the Dow today. Gold long, NASDAQ target hit. Haven't quite managed to get the trailer in. I'll do that manually. So yeah, TP hit. So that just protects that profit that's in at the moment. There we go. Roads. But when that have been a safe haven run, shouldn't the gold also go up? Yeah, so basically if normally yes, but I mean, gold's just exhausting. So when you're doing a safe haven run, yeah, I mean, typically you will buy safe havens, which is the Swiss franc, the yen, and typically metals, commodities, basically as a whole. Gold usually. So what you tend to find is obviously they will all move together. Now, if you actually look at it, yeah, what's happened to the Swiss over the last 4 days. Look what's happened to gold over the last 4 days. Yeah, we've been kind of rallying up, haven't we? Now it's coming down. So gold has had some buying. But, you know, when you get a safe haven run, you know, the first thing that happens with a safe haven run is you get a big move And then you get news that says, I don't know, Russia's just shot a missile into Poland, right? And then you go, I get it. And then you jump on the safe haven run. This started happening. There was no news to say there was anything wrong. So it wasn't a safe haven run, which was like typically you would go, okay, well, let's just revert the move because probably it's not going to happen. But obviously what's happened is it's collapsed hard. But now we know why, because somebody somewhere leaked it. Funny that, isn't it? The US do a deal with the Swiss. We've got a person in charge of the US that is a convicted felon and known for corruption. He's manipulated the market multiple times to make his friends rich by pumping it and dumping it, and does a deal with the Swiss, and all of a sudden the US Swiss collapsed. Somehow the banks know about it, but we don't find out until today, just before the market's about to shut for the weekend. Weird, isn't it? These coincidences that we've had since January. I don't know what the relevance of January is, but since January, there's been an awful lot of movement happen that suddenly you can explain afterwards. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but it's funny, isn't it? I wonder if any of Trump's friends bought the Swiss franc over the last few days. I wonder if there's a way you could look that up. Afternoon, ladies. Afternoon, Michael. Was it you? I don't know. Somebody asked a question in the members group about the drawdown control, and I completely forgot to look at questions. So I'm going to cover that on Monday. If that was you, I think it was. Tinfoil Friday. Tinfoil Friday? What's Tinfoil Friday, Brian? It's Profitable Friday for me. Makes a change. Fridays are usually crap. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting this off my P&L. So that'll be gone next week. That will have gone off my P&L, replaced by those, which will all move down, erase that red, and I am on 4 weeks green back to back. Like it. Been very annoying. It's one of those things, you know, when you're a trader, you're not meant to look at things like this, but I do, and I look at it, and I just don't like having red on my leisure. I just don't like it. It's part of the job, but I just don't like it. So it's gone next week. Monday we come back in. There won't be any red. I'll be literally green for 4 weeks. You watch next week. Blood red. Next week will be hideous. You can guarantee it. We might get a 30-minute. So if we do break down here, there is a possibility of getting a 6-bar range. So the 30-minute range might go in tradable, but it's stuck in at the Dow in a minute. Let's quickly look at those RSIs. So we've got quite a few extensions on the RSIs. Obviously, anything above 80-20, which is this column here, these two columns here, and that end column for the hourly. So these are 4 hour, and these are 1 hour. Anything in there, obviously, is massively extended and a very good mean reversion opportunity. So we'll look at those ones we've got at the moment. CAD Swiss. Funny, there might be a little bit of a theme today, maybe the Swiss franc. But yeah, CAD Swiss, very big extension and hold down here. So you've got a sort of ever such a slight bull move going in on RSI and a very obvious bearish price action pattern. So that is very strong bullish mean reversion. So you've had a signal on this on the 4 hour since here. So there was definitely a reversal alert on M15, M5 down there, which was on yesterday. So yesterday's reversal alert on the lower time frames, which was there. God, you'd have got it. Depending on what time you're taking trades, if you're taking it using EAs, I filter out that period because it's high swap and high spread. You may not have got in on that. You would have been in there though, probably. So you're probably in from somewhere around about here from yesterday. So it's not too late to get in this. Reversal alert is just about to go in off of ADR today on that one. So that's a very nice looking long CAD Swiss. Hugely extended. 4 hour was nicely extended. Hourly got below the 20 level as well. So, 80-20s Very, very good signals. We got a lot of movement room on that one as well. The Swiss yen, again, this one's parabolic. This is one of the worst trades, one of the worst symbols to trade for parabolic movement, the Swiss yen. It's two safe havens next to each other. When it wants to go, it goes stupid. So not my favorite pair at all. Should be, but it's not. Massively extended and embedded. We got a 90 extension there. That didn't even play out. So yeah, stairs climbed, elevator shaft coming. So watch this for a retracement back down into last month's high. We also have Euro Swiss. Again, Euro Swiss, very difficult to trade. These two are close trade partners. The vast majority of the time, they go sideways. Yeah, we spend so much time in range with these because the Euro and the Swiss, obviously European area, they are close trade partners. Everybody's a close trade partner of the Swiss, obviously for banking. But yeah, very, very, very big move. But obviously after a very big move comes usually a very big retracement. So this is massively extended. Lovely bullish divergence. We're at 125 ADR today. There's a lovely reversal alert just gone in on 15. Yeah, so market is basically stalled out. There's your reversal alert. 5-minute reversal alert was further back here. Lovely little 3-bar reversal went in there as well. So many signals to go long on this. This is your W pattern, uneven stop run W. So if we break that high, yeah, look for a pullback into this area here for a leg up. Very nicely extended. We've also got the pound Swiss. It's all Swiss. So don't trade all of these, obviously. Yeah. Correlation. Yeah. Go here. Can't see anything. CAD Swiss, Euro Swiss, pound Swiss. Swiss yen is also extended, isn't it? New Zealand Swiss, US Swiss, Aussie Swiss I'm missing. Yeah, so these are all your Swiss pairs. Look at the correlation. Okay. Probably go 70% correlation on these. Yeah, they are all highly, 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 highly correlated. Yeah, so if you're going to get into the Euro Swiss, remember, CAD Swiss is 63% correlated with it. Pound Swiss is 66% correlated with it. You've got 65% on the US Swiss. So if you're going to trade the Euro Swiss, you could get in on the Swiss yen and the New Zealand Swiss or the Aussie Swiss. But if you're going to get into the New Zealand Swiss, obviously, don't trade that against the Aussie Swiss. It's the same thing, 86% correlated. Yeah, if you're going to trade the US Swiss, 87% correlated with the CAD Swiss. Don't trade those two together. So when you take one, yeah, just build yourself a little basket, right? And say, these are my eligible symbols I'm going to trade. If you take a trade on the Aussie Swiss, bang. You cannot trade now the New Zealand Swiss. They're too heavily correlated. If you take a trade then on the pound Swiss, you cannot trade something else, whatever else disappeared. Yeah. So just make sure, it depends on your correlation. To be honest, with the Swiss franc, I probably want it higher. But anyway, so just bear in mind, obviously, there is, when you take that and that, these move together 66% of the time exactly the same. So you're trading the same thing. So just be aware when you're taking one, you're taking another. Pound Swiss, lovely divergence. But, you know, if you look at that pound Swiss move and that divergence that we've got there, if I switch over to the Euro Swiss chart, yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, just be careful with correlation. Same pair. And you've also got the US dollar Swiss. Now, the US dollar, obviously, the lockdown, I heard rumors that the lockdown was done, the shutdown. But I didn't see news on it. But I have also seen news today that we are going to get PCE next week, or the 26th. And we're getting other news, GDP numbers coming through next shortly. So it seems to me that that is a thing that they have come out of the shutdown. I don't know. You guys will probably know in the US more than I will, but hopefully now we're going to get to the start and the flow of data coming in. So US dollar, bullish. If we are going into a bear market, gold is saying we are. The indices are saying we potentially are. That's what's going to happen to the dollar. What's going to happen to the Swiss? They're going to drop interest rates. What's that going to do to the Swiss franc? Weaken it. So if we're going to go into a bear market, that goes up. If we're going to go into an interest rate decline, that goes down. What happens to US dollar Swiss when that happens? We will be above there within the next couple of months. So probably a couple of weeks, to be honest. So US dollar Swiss looking like a really good buy down here as well. We're also at monthly support. There's your 2-month low as well. So, you know, we've been holding this range for ages. We're massively extended on the RSI. Range low from June is holding in September, held again in October. We're back here in November. We've just put in a higher high as well this month. Yeah. So this is looking like a beautiful range expansion that is potentially going to pop. So it's all looking good for longs on US dollar Swiss long term as well. I just have a big problem buying the dollar at the moment because obviously you know who's in charge and you know how he loves to pull the pull the pin just as you think things are going well. But anyway, we'll see. Need to wear your tinfoil hat for the conspiracy theory stuff. Oh yes, that is true. All I was saying was that he said on, I think it was a Friday, wasn't it? Or a Thursday. Now would be a good time to buy stocks. And then he released some trade deal news, which rocketed the stock market 24 hours later. You know, conspiracy theorists might say that he knew what he was doing and he was giving his mates a little signal. And he's done that twice now. And all of a sudden, the market collapses on the Swiss franc. Who's involved in that trade deal? You don't need to be a conspiracy theorist. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? Anyway, watch this upside resistance. So we are sitting right now at a critical level. These lows here are exactly where we have stalled out on the rally. So potentially we might find some resistance here, potentially for a pullback and continuation, or we're going to put in a lower high and a lower low. So this is potentially where we might find, if we are going to drop further today, this is where you want to be selling from. You know what? My choice is that. And I'm also going to cancel off that. Only because today, I just want to end this week on a high. So I just want that in the bank, basically. No point in... If it goes, it goes. I've only got a quarter of that trade left on because I've taken the partial on it. Gold, TP already hit. So TP1 hit on gold. That's break even, no risk. So done basically for the day. There's no trades. 6-bar ranges in on the Dow. There's no trades for me on the Dow today. Just going to cancel off that and cancel off that short on gold. Done. So if gold rallies, happy days. That will add 230, which is about 2%. But that'll do for the week. Done. What a week, eh? Monday, meh. Tuesday, meh. Wednesday, happy. Thursday, happy. Friday, happy. That isn't often, is it? You see that. Friday, 8% on a Friday. Not the norm. I'll take it. There we go. Done for the week. So out of the NASDAQ, there is room for more upside on this, definitely. I'm just being super cautious. There's no point in risking any more today. That looks like it might rally. So watch this upside resistance. You've got further upside resistance, which is the close from yesterday. So that's yesterday's close. Globex, obviously, we sold off straight away. So this is actually, is this an ADR today? I'm not sure it is it? NASDAQ. Yeah, it is. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't get much cleaner than that, does it, for ADR? Yeah. So we sold down for the entire day, down to where? Average daily range, 100%, bounced, popped. Yeah. ADR, 58% of the time it works. It's an edge. Use it. Looking good. Right. Anybody got any other pairs they want to have a look at? Aussie, New Zealand quickly before anybody jumps in and says they want to look at someone else. So yesterday, obviously, we had that news on the Aussie, which took it up again dramatically. Again, talking about range expansion, yeah? We've been climbing up this staircase for ages, yeah? And then all of a sudden we got a range expansion. Then we went back down into contraction again, climbed up the stairs. Another range expansion going in now, yeah? Look at this. This doesn't tell the full story. This is only going back to August with this Aussie New Zealand, yeah? You've got to go out further to look at the actual proper size of this move since that interest rate change. We're looking at the entire year pretty much, going back to, this is April, June, yeah? That whole leg needs a correction. A 50% retracement brings you back into this propulsion move, which is the interest rate change, the second interest rate change. This thing, I think, can easily get down there. It's just a catalyst. So we've had a positive, negative reaction, as I like to call it, which I don't, I just made it up. But anyway, we've had news on the Australian dollar, which is massively bullish. Yeah. So if you look at the fundamentals yesterday, Wednesday, sorry. Aussie dollar unemployment rate. Yeah. It didn't just go from 4.5 to 4.4 bullish. It went to 4.3. It's still measured as bullish in relation to things, but unemployment change, or employment change rather, very bullish. You stack those two on top of each other. What should have happened to the Australian dollar? Through the roof. What did it do? Through the roof, but literally completely unraveled. Yeah. This was an exhaustion. The market went, oh, we want to buy the Australian dollar. And everyone was like, screw that. I've already bought it all. There isn't any. There's nobody selling up here. So they had to have this big, strong push to try and find sellers. Didn't find any. Bang. This is the start of the profit take leg, potentially. Yeah. So the profit take leg starts with a reversal alert and a retest and then a collapse. So that is your short-term target to the downside. If we stick a fib on this and you're looking at 38 and 50s, yeah, there's your 38. Just happens to coincide with last month's low. There's your 50, just happens to coincide with the propulsion gap break. Yeah, so those are your two downside targets for the Aussie New Zealand. If you are going to play the long term. Now, there's obviously a flag break potential at 23. So flag breaks tend to not get down to 38 retracement levels. So roughly a third of the move. They tend to, like this one, flag out. Yeah. And then continue. So just watch for the flag break, which will be into previous month's high. We're not far away from it. Yeah, we're 200 and what are we down today? 150 ADR today. So yeah, we're very, very close to that kind of flag break territory, but quite often it will flag break, retest the reversal alert, and then collapse down into these areas here. So watch those areas, and obviously this is a downside target long term, but I don't think there's a problem retracing that. Look at it. Yeah. Just saying. Same thing over and over again. Yeah, they will not sustain that. Look at that shooting star at the top there. That is an absolute exhaustion gap. They were buying it and they went, no. We've been talking about this for 3 days now because I identified this inside bar, which is your first indecision candle in a bull run. Then we got an inside bar again, which is a symmetrical triangle contraction, which is called a 2 inside bar setup, 2IB. Yeah. And then we got the exhaustion run to the upside. So they were like, okay, we're going to break to the upside. No one interested in selling. Okay, you can't sell it. You can't sell it. What do you do next? Bang, take profit. So you're taking profit on the leg. So you can't, sorry, you can buy it. You can't buy anymore up there. There's nobody selling up there. So you can't buy. So you have to sell. They're forced into the sell. And that kickstarts the profit take leg. So as soon as the market sees that, anybody that's been long on this for the last few months is going to see their P&L suddenly drop from there to there in 24 hours. That's a fair old chunk of money. Yeah. So what do you do when you see your P&L drop? You take some profit. What does that cause? A spike to the downside. The next person sees their P&L drop. They go and take some profit because they see a spike to the downside. What does that cause? Another spike to the downside. That's why we climb up the stairs and we fall down the elevator shaft, because the profit take is always faster than the climb, because it's panic selling. So just watch this. If you think that is what's happening, I don't know if it's happening, obviously, I have no idea. But if you think that is what is happening, then you're looking for retracements. So you're looking, if you want to get in on the action, you're looking for pullbacks into previous resistance or previous support, which will become resistance, propulsion gaps. Yeah, putting back into these areas and looking for a break of that level for the next leg down. So if this is going to be market structure shifting, that is where we are. And if we're going to continue, that is what's going to happen. So that low is there. That peak will be here. Yeah. Move back down. NASDAQ rolling over. Upside resistance looks like it's holding. So this is either being battered and then pulling back for a new leg up to try that level, or it's going to break that low and off we go. That's probably what's going to happen. You know, if we're going into bear markets, you don't want to be looking for buys, do you? Day by day, you want to be looking for sells. But this is where you pick a camp, don't you? Are you a bull or you're a bear? Are we going into a bull market or a bear market? If you're going into a bear market, you're going to be looking for sales every day. If you're getting rid of stocks. Do you use any particular set file for the ORB on gold? No, just the London, just the New York. Same set file, same thing. 15% of ADR. And same times, everything. Gold is very hit and miss. It's one of those things that's just, it either goes or it doesn't. So what I tend to find is one of three things happens with gold. A lot of the time, it just doesn't signal because you just don't get the range of movement at the open. Gold is obviously a futures contract. I don't know why I'm doing that, because it's just the name of a NEA. Gold is a futures contract. So it's traded obviously on the exchanges. The exchanges open at 2:30 p.m. UK time or 9:30 in the morning in US. So at the US Open, it's flooded with futures contracts, which moves the price. But gold moves all the time because it's a commodity. So it's traded 24/7 constantly. So you do get those flurries. And I think what happens with gold is when you have a situation where you've got weak opens on the stock market, you get stronger opens on gold because there's more commodity buying than stock buying, because this is a safe buy, whereas stocks are a risky buy. So if we're in fear, you will tend to find that gold will move better. When we're in greed, the stock indices will move better. Yeah. So it's very hit and miss. So it either doesn't do anything, or it goes into a wide range, which tends to stop you out on both ends, or it just goes parabolic, like we've had for the last few days. So the edge is in holding these parabolic ones to target and not getting out too soon. If you get out too soon on gold, you'll find you're just cutting the edge short. You've got to hold it. When it goes, it goes. Yeah, a la today. I mean, you didn't even get a chance today. I didn't even take it this morning because the opening range this morning in London is there. Look, that's today's opening range in London. Didn't do anything. And then it suddenly went boom. And that happened 12 o'clock-ish. Just went. But it's, you know, it either goes or it doesn't at the open. There's talk of unemployment rate won't be issued when they release the job numbers. Is that right? Okay, for the shutdown, yeah. I don't know what's happening with it. I mean, it's we got the Fed talking at the moment. Swiss government press conference on tariffs is going to start at 2:30 local time. 16:30, sorry, 4:30 local time in Switzerland, which is 10:30, which is 3:30. So in 13 minutes, we've got a press conference for the Swiss. Just see if that's on Forex Factory. If they've stuck it on there, they haven't, no. So there's this press conference in 13 minutes for the Swiss. So watch this Swiss, yeah. That press conference is going to be talking about all these tariffs, yeah. Or, yeah, we got some volatility coming in less than 15 minutes. Would you hold on to Aussie New Zealand with 5 entries? I don't know. That's a decision you need to make based on your portfolio, isn't it? So how's your month going? How's your week going? If it's going well and you've got a big size on it, do it. If it's not going well and you need to profit, don't hold it. And hold it to where? Yeah? Where's your average? If your average is here, 23.6 gives you a nice profit. 38 gives you a huge profit. 50 gives you a spectacular profit. The 61.8 news gap gives you a monster profit. How far do you think it's going to retrace? I don't know. You can't. Exits are impossible to tell, right? So exits, we talked about this in the members stream, didn't we? Your target indicator is your target indicator. What's your target indicator? What are you using? Yeah, if you're using Fibonacci ratios, target a fib ratio. If you're using propulsion gaps, target a propulsion gap. If you're using ADR beyond average, use ADR beyond average. There's nothing wrong with changing your target based on your week, your month, or what you think an instrument is going to do. Yeah, so if you are 5 short and your average is here and you got the opportunity for a break even today, look at what that would make you and say, do I want to hold it there? Yeah. Do not use a break even stop though, because you will get a break even. That's all I can tell you. You will get a break even. France called, they want the Statue of Liberty back. They can have it back. Have you never noticed it's always like whenever there's a disaster movie in the US, the first thing to go is the French gift, isn't it? Yeah. What do they always blow up in disaster movies? Any disaster movie in the US, the Statue of Liberty always gets it. It's funny, isn't it? It's almost as if it's written into history that we have to destroy this thing. I love the US. Couldn't live there, but I love it. Love going there. In fact, at the moment, with the rate of inflation in the UK, I'd probably be better off moving to the US, believe it or not. It's getting to the point in the UK where if you sneeze and have to go out and buy tissue paper, you don't wipe your nose with tissue paper, whatever you, tissues, it ends up costing you £5. Everything in the UK is ridiculously expensive now. You know, it's getting to the point where it's not funny anymore. And she's talking, our Chancellor, about putting taxes up. Good luck with that. See how far that gets you. Out of government, that's where it's going to get you. So that's what that spike was today. She said, we're not going to do anything with the taxes for the UK. Don't worry. And then we all went, oh, really? That's brilliant, but we don't believe you. That's what that is. Wow. Really? It's Friday. Right. We are really stalling out on that NASDAQ. If you are long, just be careful. We've done it. We're stuck. We are also not pulling back either, though, so this could potentially be a flag break long. We'll see how we go. Oil looks like it's stalled out as well at target, so that's break even anyway. It doesn't matter. There's so much more upside on that. Gold. So that is your last accumulation break. So this propulsion gap here, that is your target for the first batch of sellers that we're going to meet in that run. Your second batch is here. Yeah. So that and that. So these little accumulations basically are potential upside resistances. So where we are now, there's absolutely no reason really for this to stall out here. It's just pure selling. This whole thing is pure selling. So that's where I'd be watching for a second target. In fact, just for simplicity's sake, I'll get out there. That would be an obvious spot. That area there as well, we broke through and accumulated and broke down. So just watch these areas to the upside, but it's all stalling out in it. But give it 7 minutes when that Swiss press conference starts. We might have the Swiss suddenly start a safe haven run or an excavation of safe haven, and everyone pulls their money out of the Swiss. So in the next 10 minutes, you might find that Swiss franc goes to the moon or collapses, one way or the other. So if you've got profit on Swiss franc positions now, it's probably worth taking them off. Oh, for those that weren't in the members stream this morning, if you've been curious about the M1 strategy that I've been running that banked 120% or so, actually it banked more than that. We were up sort of 200%. It got a margin call yesterday. It was only a bit of fun. But yeah, it got margin called yesterday. Mind you, it's managed to bank 30% back today, so it's not bad. Apart on a 1 minute chart at random. The chances of it actually working, pretty damn remote. But it was fun while it lasted. Anyway, so yeah. I'm not putting that set file out there. It's not a good one to use. 1 minute charts. Do not trade them. Not as a position trading anyway. Do what you like with it and anything else, but do not position trade 1 minute charts. They're not good. Right, I'm going to leave it there today. It is Friday. If you've got anything else you need, let me know. I will be in Discord or Telegram back on Monday. MST Academy members, we are finishing off the very last lesson in the position trading bootcamp. Today we covered strategies. And Monday rather, we're finishing off with aggressive drawdown control. When that is finished, that is the lot done. So 19 lessons in Trading 101, 3 lessons in economic news scalping, 6 lessons in prop, and all 12 position trading lessons, which is equating to at the moment, let's tot it up before I go, how many hours of education you get for 50 quid. Let's call it 15, plus 2, plus 5, plus, we're up to 11 and a half. We're going to do 12 and a half, aren't we? So call it 12. Yeah, there's 34 hours of education there. Good stuff. The only stuff you need to know. For $49.99, if you're interested. Just saying. Education doesn't have to be expensive. You just need a lot of hours and you need to listen to my voice. So I know that's why people don't want it, because it's listening to my voice, but that's fine. I don't care. Right, so I'll be back on Monday, which is why I went over there. Monday, basically, as usual, members stream is at 9 o'clock on Monday. Before that, 8 o'clock, we're going to look at the week ahead. We're going to trade the DAX as usual. And then Wednesday's members stream and Friday's members stream, we are open at the moment. So we're going to, next week, we're just going to do stuff ad hoc, which I will decide on next week. But we did finish off today with strategies, and members are going to put some strategies together, hopefully, which we will look at potentially analysing those, looking at good bits, bad bits, whatever, and then potentially automating. So if there's any strategies that any members come up with that are good for automation, we will be looking at building EAs using the MetaTrader Builder next week. So we will sort that out. I'll play it when I cannot sleep. Play what? I'll play it when I go. Oh, what, my voice. Okay, yes, very funny. Haha, I get it. Yeah. So I can send people to sleep. So basically, if you have trouble sleeping, $49.99, I can solve all of your sleep problems. All you need to do is subscribe to the MST Academy on the website. And you get loads of extra benefits as well. Not just the learning, not just the sleep. You get all the extra stuff as well. But you can subscribe to that and get a good night's sleep. And here's your introduction, which will explain all about how to go to sleep. Are you asleep yet? Keep listening, you will be. Bass drop, take that trade. Brian, my music I've made is much better. I still love yours though. That's great. Anyway, so if you want to hang around, I'll leave the music on for about 10 minutes and you can listen to all of my music and my tracks that I made up on Suno. Let's build that gold scalping EA next week. Yes, we can. We haven't got to build it. I've already got it. I've already built it. But as I suspected, the person that asked me to build it came back and asked for some amendments to it. And do you know what he asked me for amendments for? Because it wasn't working as he thought it was. Do you know why? Because it does the same as the ORB, except it doesn't take the orders in the same way. So I said, if you did it this way, it would work. And I basically described the opening range breakout EA to him and said, use that on a 1 minute chart. And that's basically what I built him. So we can have a look at that and I'll show you the differences. Remind me, message me, actually put it in the MST Academy members or something, Discord group, and remind me and we'll cover that basically. So that's something we can do next week. But yeah, it's basically the same as ORB. Anyway, right, Swiss franc. There we go. You've got 1 minute until that press conference starts, I think, if I've got my timings right. I'm not sure because it's different time zones. Anyway, I'll leave you there. I'll put my music on so you can listen to it and hopefully see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Click, clack, charts attack, candlesticks, they spark the track. Lead move silent, market crack, profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex, numbers dance. What's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. Westpac buzz and traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, Lee's got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures is domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads, Fibonacci maps to see. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Leads precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guide. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run.
digital sheen, open in range, his weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine. Bank moves, he mimics, he plays their game. Near a version, glory is his claim to fame. Market structure king, watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profits sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leaves the master filling his bankroll. Leaves the master filling his bankroll. His mind's a map of supply and demand, turning charts to gold with a steady hand. Forex flows like rivers in his plan. Bases bow to the market man. Break out at the open, the strategy's tight. Position for the swing, he wins the fight. Risk is measured, the balance precise. Leads on the rise, he rolls the market structure king, watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profits sing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Leads on the charts. Yeah, watching the flow, candles rise up. Then they drop down low. Pips in his pocket, he's stacking it tall. Market structure trader, he's got it all. Open in range, it's the key to the game. Breakout moves, profits calling his name. Name. Market structure leads the king. Trading waves, let the profits sing. Mean reversion, he's locked and loaded. Like the banks, his strategy's coded. Coded. Charts don't lie, he reads every line. Forex indexes, he's making it shine. Positions held with precision and grace. He's in control, it's his trading space. Open in range, it's the start of the show. He's a pro, yeah, he's running the flow. Market structure leads the king. Trading waves, let the profits sing. Mean reversion, he's locked and loaded. Like the banks, his strategy's coded. His strategy's coded. He walks the charts like a shadow king. Candlesticks dance where the prophets sing. Pivots and breakouts, his gospel's clear. Mean reversion whispers what no one hears. He strikes the key position right where the games will be. Market wizardly. Every tech bend says decree. Forex waves obey the sea. Bow down to the market structure trader. Indices tremble when his cursor flies. Fibonacci lines cut through the lies. Algorithms falter at his stare. While rookies gamble, he's prepared. Risk is locked and the stops are tight. His strategy hunts through the